You get up in the morning and you have a lot of things that you have to do, a lot of tasks that you have on your list. And you decide to skip breakfast because you just want to get going to do those things. So you don't eat breakfast, you go and you do those things. And then you mess up a lot of things. You fail to keep track of things, you lose things, you drop things, you're out of focus, you're kind of just out of whack. And you realize it's because you skipped breakfast. You didn't have the nutrients that you needed to function properly throughout the entire day. Or how about this situation? You go to the store, you're doing your normal grocery shopping, and maybe you see this very handsome gentleman in the aisle. You happen to strike up a conversation at random because maybe you two are looking at the same items, and you just happen to catch a conversation because you notice that he's wearing a nice shirt. You comment on the shirt, he responds. Good conversation. Something is telling you to continue talking to this man. There's something about his energy that's telling you this, but you decide to end the conversation. You go up and you purchase your items, and then you walk out of the store, and that same man that you were having a conversation with drives by in a McLaren. So obviously, he's got a lot going on. And you probably would have found out. Or let's flip the situation around, and you are the man walking down the aisle, and a woman approaches, and she actually catches a whiff of some cologne that you have on and asks you, wow, where did you get that cologne? Or she strikes up a conversation and comments on how it smells and all that good stuff. And she seems to be very interested in having more conversation with you. But instead of continuing the way that your gut is telling you, you shut down the conversation and keep on going. And you understand how rare it is for a woman to approach a man, but you don't take advantage of what your gut is telling you to do. Why don't you listen to your gut? Your first gut instinct, that intuition, that vibration that you get to either avoid something, do something, not do something, go left instead of go right. Why don't you listen? Your gut is never wrong, but how often do you listen to it? It gives you the answers that you need 24/7. And if you listen to it, decisions will be made that are more favorable. You will be protected. You will be guided exactly where you're supposed to be. You will be able to save someone else. You will be able to expand on something that you're doing. Maybe it's a business, maybe it's high finance, whatever the case may be. This intuition that's constantly at work. It's something that you can't necessarily calculate. You don't know or understand how it works. You just know that it does when you trust it. But how often do you? This thing that I'm talking about, this is what you can connect to when you meditate. When you meditate, it connects you to this ability to be able to recognize things in real time as it's happening, instead of having it being a delayed reaction. The examples that I aforementioned would be ones where you would recognize it in real time what's going on and be able to make the right choice or make a more favorable choice. Like the grocery store and the gentleman who's very handsome, you talk, and next thing you know, he ends up being your husband or best friend, or ends up connecting you to a business opportunity or an employment opportunity. And then going back to the breakfast example, you end up having breakfast and you're able to function throughout the day much better. So it's being able to recognize in real time what your gut is telling you, the intuition, the gift that was born in you. It's automatic. You came into the world with this. It's your birthright. So when you use meditation or prayer, you connect to it, and you connect to it more often, and it becomes more sharp. It gets to a point to where you are able to navigate every situation in your life being connected, because it is a gift from the Most High. So then you never lose. Struggles are diminished or reduced. You don't have a lot of issues. Try listening to your gut. Listen to your intuition. Track what it does. Most people don't. Most people don't take notes. They don't track it, so they don't know how powerful it actually is. They don't know how true it is, because it's never wrong. And if you were to track it for an entire week, you would know how correct or how accurate it is. Now, it does get tricky because there's a difference between your gut and your emotions. The tricky part is to recognize if you are having an emotional reaction to something or if that is actually your gut at work. But the more you meditate, the more you know the difference. You were born with this ability, and this is something that you can expand on for the rest of your life. So my question to you is, why not start now?